in the ring against Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria. The first heavyweight test for both these fighters in the Goodwill Games here in Moscow, and a couple of men who'd like to move on from the bronze medals they shared, Paul Horning, at the 86 World Championships. Of course, semifinal losers don't go on to settle third place. The two men get the bronze as they did there. And we'll see contrasting styles, but a lot of power both ways from these big men.
Well, Michael Benn, as we see, goes over and exchanges, gives the American flag. I tell you, he's 84-86 United States national champions. We've been saying all day long, and for the last week, this young man has the best chance for the gold. At least everyone seems to think so. Roosevelt Saunders in his corner with high hopes for Michael Benn, and here we go.
He's on his way against the Bulgarian, Svilen Rusinov. And what he likes to do is go to the body early and establish something and pound away. He tends to throw a lot of first-round punches and has a tendency to maybe lay back a little bit after that once he establishes something. But there's one to the body with the right hand. But for a few moments at least, Paul, it'll be a matter of sorting out this style of the Eastern Bloc boxer from Bulgaria. Quite upright, usually coming on, but right now in retreat as Michael works him around the ring. Throws the good jab out. Pretty quick jab for a big man, too, flying in the face of the Bulgarian boxer. Michael Benn, born in London, England, at 6 months of age, came to the United States as dual citizenship. Lives in Cambria Heights, New York, where his dad, one of all things, $2 million in the lottery.
And he still's got his job with the New York City Transit Authority. More power to him.
Life hasn't changed that much, but maybe it's a little bit more comfortable for the Benn family.
I would imagine. $2 million. Not a bad lick.
Well, here's a guy with a chance that he goes on to professional boxing in the future. Might get $2 million or more as a heavyweight, Michael Benn. The referee is from the Soviet Union, Dadiev. He's not interfering too much in this first round, which is just about halfway through now here in the Olympic Sports Complex in Moscow. And Benn against the big Bulgarian, giving a good account of himself. He continues to back his man around the ring. You can't do much when you're backing up. You got to come forward all of a sudden, and when he does, Benn lashes out with a good left hand.
Heavyweights up to 201 pounds. Super heavyweights over 201 pounds.
Rusinov looks a little wary of Benn right now, as again the jab comes softly in the face of the Bulgarian boxer.
He's definitely on his bicycle.
Snaps the left hook out to him. Benn looking very impressive in the first round. Very much in command here. Works into the corner. Tried the combination, and it was blocked by Rusinov. We're back now toward the center of the ring. Caution from the referee for a low head. About a minute to go in the first round as the Bulgarian goes to the body of Benn. Benn, in many ways, reminds me of Tyrell Biggs, perhaps even more aggressive than Biggs was as an amateur.
Even looks a little like him, doesn't he?
He does. Good resemblance there. Of course, Tyrell from Philadelphia, and now Michael Biggs, Benn from Cambria Heights, New York.
Well, we had Juan Acevedo losing in the flyweight match. We had Arthur Johnson winning his match, so we're 1-1 on the first day of competition, and Michael Benn looking to move on to the semis.
Off to a good start of the first round against a tough customer with world championship experience, along with him in Reno. Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria. He's moved up from a light heavyweight, the Bulgaria. That's where he fought last year. Just couldn't keep that weight down and had to go up a notch. And Benn, of course, just getting more seasoning, coming along. Round one here. Yeah,
classic
looking
American
good.
style. He looks good. He's confident.
There's the bell. Round one.
On these toes, he looks great.
Round two, Michael Benn underway against Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria. Benn took it to him in the first round, forced the Bulgarian to back up much of the round, and that pattern continues, Paul Horning, here into round two.
Well, Benn looks good. He's confident. I'm sure he doesn't want to let up. He's been accused of kind of, as you said in the first round, Don, of easing up sometimes when he gets ahead and letting his opponent off the hook somewhat.
He'll go from bout to bout. A big win over Yagubkin of the Soviet Union, then a loss to a light-hitting boxer from the Netherlands in his semifinal bout. So he's got to maintain some kind of consistency, not just bout for bout, but in terms of round for round right now. And he appears to be doing just that.
Yagubkin, of course, one of the Russian champions, and he's split 2 matches with him.
If Bent wins this, he will go on to beat a Soviet opponent in the next round here in the heavyweight ranks. So the interest intensifies in this boxing competition. And the crowd getting into this a little bit more. Much of the time we have felt the spectators were like people at a public library, suddenly startled when a fight broke out. But they are vocal here, perhaps to the fluid style of Michael Bent and the action he's taking to the Bulgarian. They're reacting to it accordingly.
He's just got that good natural athletic ability, Don. You can just tell it. He moves smoothly. He's on the balls of his feet. He's on his toes. He moves just like a cat.
I tell you, I like the looks of him with that jab. Now the hook, a good hook opened up to the face of Rusinov and caught him off guard. Rusinov coming on now, but Biggs for starting and stopping, going backward and coming forward again, has got his man totally confused here in the second round, past the halfway mark. The jab has been effective. The hook to open it up, and the right hand, the short chopping right and the straight right have gotten through too. They did not meet at the World Championships in Reno, as we say, both winding up as bronze medalists losing their semifinal bouts. But Bent on his way to winning here, it would appear, in the second round as he snaps the chopping right out again. And the left.
And folks, you might not know it, but there's 7,000 or 8,000 people here at this tremendous sports complex. This is a quiet Russian crowd, isn't it? They don't get upset too much. They're not as vociferous as our group in the United States. They let you know about it.
Do not disturb sign on their vocal cords. A different atmosphere in many ways here, the capital of the Soviet Union. The referee is from the Soviet Union, Vladimir Dadiev. Interjecting there momentarily with now 30 seconds to go in the second round. Bent with a chopping right hand. That was felt by Rusinov. Rusinov now fighting perhaps a little hurt out of instinct coming forward. Bent challenging with a combination left and right. Bent scoring very well there. Rusinov continues to press forward, however.
Rusinov knows he's behind. He's got to come on strong, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's kind of coming back a little bit.
And Bent maybe getting a little tired now, really showing no signs of letting up late in this round. Just seconds left in the second round, and like the first, it's been a good 3 minutes of boxing for Michael Bent of the United States. And so, Paul Horning, you have to like what you've seen from Mr. Bent. The Americans worrying about new heavyweights coming up, and in this situation, looks like they got a good one.
They sure do. Michael Bent, of course, is, we've been promoting all week. He is our best hope for the gold. Let's put it that way. Yagubkin has got a bad hand, is not the best of the Russian heavyweights. We just saw a couple of Russian heavyweights that I think Michael Bent will probably be the favorite against. And if he can get by today, he's got a very, very good shot at the gold.
Well, the two we saw, while hard hitters, look like absolute plotters compared to Michael Bent, who is a big man, still moves around the ring and cuts it off beautifully on his opponent.
He's got great athletic ability, and he's got not only a good chance to win here. He's young. He's only 20 years old, and he's got a great future in boxing.
And his future now may get a little brighter as his third round comes along as he attempts to seal the victory from Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria, who is game and has stayed with him. He's been stuck a couple of times, but no question as to the number of blows thrown by Bent in this round. He's got the
best left jab we've seen all night, including 8 flyweight fights with much quicker men. But I tell you, Bent's got a great left jab.
And a good hook, a good right, a chopping right, a good variety of punches, and they come in fast combinations, his quick hands. That has been the undoing of Rusinov, who's been stymied by the quickness of Bent for a big man. And a caution to the corner where Roosevelt Sanders, the American head coach, has been saying something to Bent. That's a no-no in amateur boxing.
Uh-oh.
He might have felt that was a little bit low, Rusinov, as he backs away for a moment. Bent with 2 good rounds behind him. Now let's see if this oft-times problem of his of just easing up a little bit in the final round happens. No real sign of it yet as he continues to come at him.
Scored with a couple of good rights there.
In many previous fights, he's thrown the majority of his punches in the first couple of rounds. Laying back in the third, but now Rusinov willing to mix it with him.
Hey, Rusinov just keeps pounding those hands. He keeps swinging. He's not stopping.
And so Bent has no choice but to continue with the volume of punches he threw in the first couple of rounds. Midway in this, the third and final round in Moscow in the heavyweight division, Michael Bent trying to get on to the next round of competition into the semifinals for the United States, and he'll face a Soviet if and when he gets there. But first, Mr. Rusinov has to be taken care of.
And we'll be back here tomorrow night with some great fights, great matches.
More boxing coming up on Sunday from the Goodwill Games. This competition is off and flying here in Moscow. Well, now just a minute to go in the third round. Rusinov looking a little arm weary. Bent goes back to that body again. Fires the jab out, comes up short, throws a chopping right hand. That got through to the head of Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria. So Rusinov, a former light heavy, is up with the big boys now and in against a good one as Bent slugs it out with him. Fires the jab again, the following chopping right hand that has been so effective throughout this bout.
Rusinov was pushing the action to start his third round. He's completely beat now. His arms are heavy, and he's weary.
And he's against the ropes, and the referee gives him a little break there. He comes right back out. Just 20 seconds left in the third and final round, but he is arm weary and trying to hang on as best he can against Michael Bent, who's been extremely impressive tonight. The left, the right by Bent. Flicks the left jab out again, dances way through, fires a quick left that rocks him for a moment there. He's down to the final few seconds now, and Bent is not letting up. He's taking it all the way to the final bell in Moscow.
Good fight.
Getting the tape all unraveled and the gloves gone for good for this night. Expecting to have won a decision here over Svilen Rusinov of Bulgaria and Paul Horning. There seems little doubt from where we sit that he did earn a 3-round decision.
And we take another look, and he was in control all the way. Rusinov tried to put a little pressure on the beginning of the third round, but he ran out of gas. Michael Bent, I think, will move on.
He's trying to become the second American to win tonight. The first had tough luck. Juan Acevedo just off the plane 24 hours ago, a last-minute substitute, fought with a lot of heart. And he was very game, and he just couldn't handle a tough one from North Korea.
And Arthur Johnson moved on, so we're 1-1, hoping to be 2-1 after the first day of competition, depending on this outcome, and I think it'll be Bent.
Both men waiting in the center of the ring with the Soviet referee, Vladimir Dadiev, for the announcement here in Moscow. This crowd now, which has been very sparse and spread throughout this huge complex of 22,000, all moves down toward ringside now to find out who's the winner of this final bout of the evening here on the opening day of boxing at the Goodwill Games. The 5 judges at ringside, international panel decides it. The referee has no say in the outcome. He is holding the hands of both fighters, ready to lift the victors.
And the longer it takes, the more nervous these boxers get, especially the winner.
No longer be nervous, Michael, because you're the winner.
So Michael Bent, our leading contender on a 3-2.
Yeah, a little closer. In fact, a lot closer than I would have thought. That means 3 of the 5 judges decided